The original trilogy of games kept the sandbox fairly on form, adding a few weapons of each game, but later games experimented with different ideas for weapons, some which were only ever seen once. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the games, look at all the weapons that made a singular appearance in the franchise, and talk about their lore. But before I start, I just want to say one thing. I'm really ill at the moment. I'm suffering with a lung infection. I'm on week 2 of this, and I've written this video. I've gone and got the footage and doing this voice recording. Oh, I'm really ill. So if you do enjoy the video in the end, I'd really appreciate it if you could either like and subscribe. That's really going to help me out, okay? But let's get into it. So, Halo 2. There's only one weapon that makes a singular appearance, and it's never seen again, and that is the M247 GPMG. In Halo 2's campaign, this weapon only appears as a mounted weapon on a tripod and can't be dismounted and carried. There is a way to spawn in a handheld version of this, I just couldn't figure it out for this video. So how about the lore? The M247 is an air-cooled, gas-operated general-purpose machine gun that was introduced to military service in 2526. It's firing UNSC standard 7.62 by 51mm full metal jacket armoured piercing round. This is the same round used in the assault rifle and the DMR. Ammunition is either fed through a belt box on the right hand side of the gun for more mobile use, or much larger underslung drum magazine for when used in a fixed position. With Halo 3 we can skip right past, because every weapon in Halo 3 has appeared in a future game in some way or another. And with ODST, at the time the Silenced Magnum and Silenced SMG were unique to this game, but they have both appeared again in Halo 5 and also Halo 2 Anniversary, the SMG anyway. Although I might make an exception here, and in Halo 5 the weapons are different iterations. So in ODST we get the M7S and the M6C SOCOM. In Halo 5 they are the M20 PDW and the M6H2 Magnum, both later iterations looking vastly different to their older cousins. Interestingly, this was the first ever zoomable automatic weapon in Halo. The M7S SMG is a silenced version of the regular M7 SMG. Introduced in 2431, it features the SS M49 sound suppressor and a SmartLink capable V5B reflex sight. The weapon fires the 5x23mm M443 armoured piercing caseless ammunition, fed through either a 48 or 60 round magazine. Meanwhile, the sidearm counterpart, the M6C SOCOM, is a variant of the M6C Magnum featuring an integrated square-shaped suppressor and a muzzle brake, as well as a V6E SmartLink scope, and fires the 12.7 by 14mm semi-armoured piercing high explosive round fed from a 12 round magazine. Halo Reach had quite a few weapons, which only ever made one appearance. Some I don't mind never seeing again, but others I want to see return since we've ever been allowed to play with them all those years ago. I'm going to make a small exception here for the UNSC, as technically all the weapons for this faction reappear in future Halo games, but the M319 grenade launcher wouldn't appear again until the DLC, a late DLC for Halo 5. This was at the time, and still is, quite a unique weapon for Halo, a single shot grenade launcher that can one-shot kill a Spartan if it's a direct hit, but also has the ability to act as an EMP, giving it great utility purposes. I'd like to see something like this come back, because it's a weapon that does take some skill to use at range. At close range it's a bit easier to use, but the trade-off being the reload leaves you exposed and you only get one shot. And while the grenade won't destroy most vehicles, the EMP can bring them to a stop. The M319 is a versatile single-shot break-action grenade launcher firing 40mm grenades. Accessories can be added to the Picatinny rails on the side of the launcher. Under the barrel is a grip that can be folded down if needed. On top of the barrel is a sight that is SmartLink capable and a carry handle. The launcher does not feature a stock, but does come with a display that will show the user how far the munition has travelled and will prompt the word boom upon the munition's detonation. The tried and tested weapon here has been in use with the UNSC military branch for decades. Next we have the plasma repeater. I don't have much to say on this. I was never really one to use it much. I wasn't really a fan. The one advantage this had over the plasma rifle was you was able to vent the heat out the gun at will, so in theory allowing you to fire at a controllable rate of fire until it runs out of battery. But the bloom on this got quite big the more you fired, and Increasing the fire rate just wasn't worth it. The plasma repeater was designed and built to be an improvement over the standard plasma rifle. While Sangheili warriors enjoyed the weapon, its improved accuracy over the plasma rifle, it was rarely seen during the Human Covenant War. First seen during Operation Prometheus in 2537, then later again during the ground invasion of Reach in 2552. After this, we have probably what is my favourite Covenant weapon ever. It is the needle rifle. It's a real big shame that this was never brought back, because having an accurate fully automatic rifle that can super combine like the Needler was fantastic. It's a good answer to the DMR, it's a great alternative to the carbine as we don't get that here in Reach. This gun had meta written all over it because it was the best weapon you could get in Spartan vs Elites when playing as the Elites, at least initially. It worked at close range, medium range, long range, consistently, but also explains why we haven't seen it again, simply because it was just so good. And in Halo 5 you had the Blood of Suban, which was a very overpowered carbine firing the same Blamite needles. So if this weapon was to come back, it would probably need a nerf. I think the easiest way to do this without compromising on the other great things about it is to reduce the magazine size slightly. The Gadulo pattern rifle is a Covenant needle-based firearm that uses the same Blamite material found in the standard Needler. The needle rifle features a 21-round internal magazine and an electronic sighting system. When the magazine is empty, it ejects out the top of the weapon like an M-block clip. Unlike the needle rifle does not feature any kind of tracking technology, though the trade-off is fair as the rifle has much greater projectile velocity than the Needler. One similar feature to the Needler is the Super Combine explosion that occurs when multiple needles land on the same target. The needle projectiles fired from this rifle have enough stopping power to pierce a Mjolnir-powered helmet and kill the operator, provided the shields are disabled. A heavy weapon we never saw again was the plasma launcher, essentially a huge heavy plasma RPG. It feels better to use in PvE than PvP, as the charge at time for all 4 grenades can take a moment. In multiplayer this might mean you get the kill, but you only after you're dead. Against vehicles like the Warthog though, it was good because it did a decent mix of damage against vehicles and infantry, so to think to bring this one back they would have to make it a little bit more competitive. Now let's talk about the lore of the plasma launcher. The plasma launcher is the Covenant's most precise shoulder-mounted heavy weapon, a staple of Sangheili warriors and armoured detachments for centuries, firing explosive plasma bolts that aggressively track a target's signature, sticking to it before exploding. The weapon proved effective during ground campaigns when humans deployed armoured vehicles in large numbers. Now time for the final weapon from Reach, it's the focus rifle. Why would you ever choose this over the UNSC sniper rifle when you're playing Reach? The focus rifle is essentially an inbred marriage between the sentinel beam and the beam rifle. It's a cool concept, but the TTK is longer than the sniper rifle, so it's better used for suppression and sniping. This is also the issue of the beam and the loud sound giving the shooter's position away. The focus rifle is a Covenant precision weapon used in suppression roles as opposed to anti-personnel duties. The weapon is based off reverse-engineered sentinel beams taken from fallen aggressor sentinels. Despite being an innovative creation for the Covenant, the focus rifle uses large amounts of energy, which was never mitigated and so was reserved for shock troop use only. So that's Halo Reach done. Now let's talk about Halo 4. There's only one weapon in Halo 4 that never made a reappearance. Most of the guns were either in previous games or they were in Halo 5. But the one gun we're going to talk about is the sticky detonator. It's been missing in action now for 12 years. When I see on forums and Reddit where people discuss weapons they want to see come back, this is the one I see being brought up all the time, and I can sympathise. There is nothing quite like it in the sandbox. Limited ammunition, yes, but it's single shot like the grenade launcher. High damage, but you can't get too far from the grenade because it will explode otherwise. It can be used for one-shot kills or used tactically on the floor, ceiling, walls to create a trap with the motion tracker that it comes with, letting you know when an enemy was approaching. There is a potential to bring this one back, but perhaps like the grenade launcher in Reach, so it could have a secondary fire mode where it's like an EMP, or we could have something like shock damage from Halo Infinite. But that's how the weapon. Let's go over the lore of it. The sticky detonator is a single-shot explosive munitions launcher which fires a semi-ferric projectile, which is detonated at the operator's discretion. Its small compact size gives numerous advantages over shoulder-fired RPGs. So, that's Halo 4. let's talk about Halo 5. Now, technically, there's 2 weapons in Halo 5 that are unique to this game. But I'm worried this video might get a bit long. So I'm just going to talk about the one that I find more interesting. The other one is the... I think it's called the Splinter turret. It's the Forerunner turret. But the one I actually want to talk about is the Covenant Plasma Caster. It's only appeared in Halo 5, but in Infinite we have the Cinder Shot, which behaves in a similar way, not entirely the same. This weapon was pretty decent in close quarters interiors, but outside you had to arc your shots well to get a kill. Its secondary fire mode allowed the user to fire a large projectile that will stick to wherever it touches. It'll open up like a crossbow. It did look pretty cool, to be fair. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of bouncing explosive weapons, and I feel the same with a Cinder Shot, actually. I'd probably like the Cinder Shot just a little bit more if I had to choose one. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. That is the only weapon in Halo 5 other than the Splinter Shot that never appeared ever again. So let's talk about the lore. Never accepted into Covenant service by the Standard Shayum, it found significant use in post-Human Covenant War splinter groups. Viewed as a significant upgrade over the concussion rifle, the caster can open up like a crossbow and fire a more powerful round that will stick to targets or objects. So, there we go. That's just every single weapon that's only ever appeared in Halo once. There's quite a few weapons there that 343, or Halo Studios now, sorry, could put in the next Halo game to spruce up the sandbox. I think they should definitely bring back some of these, in particular the needle rifle, or the grenade launcher, or the sticky detonator. It's like just, you know, something a bit different for the sandbox, and something that fans have used before and would really like to get their hands on again. So which of these weapons do you want to see come back the most? Let me know in the comments below. And if you do enjoy this video, please leave a like. As I say, I'm not really feeling great right now, and that was a lot of talking just then. Really helps me out. Press the subscribe button as well. That would help massively. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. I've got a little bit more work to do, but we're going to get there. There's going to be more content coming soon, short form, long form. I'm in a better position now to be making content than I was in the past. I would make a lore video like very sporadically, but it's a bit different now. Maybe won't see as many lore videos, but you know, trivia videos like this, things like that. So anyway, until next time, Spartans, this is Jack signing off.